Hi everybody, I'm Tina. I am an independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am going to do a quick run through on some questions that I've been getting on our new Mary Kay Clinical Solutions Retinol 0.5 and the facial milk that goes with that. I've got some really great questions. I figured I'd come on and address those for everyone. I figure there's more questions out there, so if you have questions, please send me a message and I will address those questions as well. And I just wanted to also give a quick update on my experience with the retinol. I've used it once. So far, I started Friday night. This is now Tuesday, February 2nd. Started Friday night, so at this point I am in week 1 of the retinization process. So weeks 1 through 4 actually, we're only using the retinol 1 time per week. So Friday night is my night that I'll be applying my second dose of the retinol. But I just wanted to give a quick update on my experience so far. So really have not had any kind of anything that I've noticed other than Saturday morning. I noticed that my skin felt like I had gotten some sun the day before, kind of that little prickly feeling that you get when you've been out in the sun. And I just used the facial milk when I did my skincare routine that morning, and I have not felt anything since then. The other thing that I noticed is today's the first day I've put on foundation since I used the retinol, and I did notice that my foundation didn't kind of lay on my skin as smooth as it normally does. It looks like I've got some flakiness going on, and that's exactly what we want to happen. That is part of what retinol does is get those surface layers of your skin to slough off so that the fresh layers of skin can come to the surface. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into our questions real quick and just run through those and get you out of here. So stay with me, please. Also, I will link my website to in the description of the video here. I will also include the link to my Facebook private group and would love to have you join my group as well. And then there will be questions that are being addressed in there, as well as before and after pictures that you'll be able to see. So I'd love to have you join me. So first question, and it's a great one, is what is retinol? Actually, these are all great questions. What is retinol? In simplest terms, because I'm not a scientist and I kind of tend to have my eyes roll back in my head when sciencey things are being discussed because they just don't make sense to my brain. But in its simplest explanation, retinol is vitamin A. And what does that do for our skin? So it does have physical exfoliating properties to it, but it is not the same as, say, our microdermabrasion refine or our facial scrubs, those types of cleansers. Those are physical exfoliators only, and they don't actually penetrate the skin to do anything deeper, where retinol does. Retinol actually penetrates the outer layers of our skin, which is known as the epidermis, gets to the dermis, which is the middle layers of our skin, and it helps to neutralize free radicals and allows elastin and collagen to produce in our skin cells. And then as those skin cells come to the surface, because there is that exfoliating process going on as well, those skin cells are nice plump skin cells, as they should be, and so that is part of what helps reduce the appearance of our fine lines and wrinkles. So in a nutshell, that is what retinol is. Another question that I've been getting is, why do I need a current skincare regimen, and does it have to be Mary Kay skincare? So the first part of that question is the reason that you need a good skincare regimen is that retinol is really quite drying to our skin. It's kind of a harsh ingredient. It's very powerful, very potent. Harsh might not be the right word, but it's powerful, very potent. And so we need a good skincare regimen so that we've given our skin what it needs before we start the retinol, and then after we start the retinol, that we continue to give it everything that it needs to replenish itself and to balance it as we're going through that process. Does it have to be Mary Kay skincare? No, it does not, but it does need to be good quality skincare. We need your skin to be getting the support that it needs. Now, the caveat to that is that we know that our Time-Wise Repair and the Time-Wise Miracle 3D sets are compatible with the Clinical Solutions Retinol. And by compatible, what I mean is that we know those skincare lines don't contain any ingredients that we should be avoiding during the retinization process that can cause us to have some unpleasant reactions and during that retinization process, and even after the retinization process as we continue to use retinol. So we're going to suggest our skincare lines because obviously we believe in them and we know the results that we've gotten with them, but also because we know that those ingredients are not going to interact or have a adverse reaction to adding the retinol in. Having said that, if you're using other skincare, that's perfectly fine. We just need to have an honest conversation as to everything that you're using on your face so that we can know if any of those products contain the ingredients that we should be avoiding. Excuse me real quick. My nose has decided to run this afternoon. I think that's what the redness is. It might be a little bit of the retinol taking place in there, but it's mostly because my nose has been running today. So I apologize. So we just want to make sure that the skincare products that you're using on your face don't contain any of those ingredients. And that goes for your makeup as well, your foundations, your CC creams, everything that you're putting on your face. We just need to know what those are so we can see the list of ingredients and know that they don't contain any of the ingredients that I'm going to go over with a next question that we have coming up. So next question is, what are the things we can't use if we're using retinol? Great question. So I've already mentioned the physical exfoliators. For our line of products for Mary Kay, that includes our Microdermabrasion Refine, which contains aluminum oxide crystals. They're very fine, but they have that scrubbing sensation, and we're going to avoid those during the retinization process so that we're not, we're already doing a physical exfoliation with the retinol. We don't want to do another one on top of that, as well as with that scrubbing action kind of cause some sensitivity. That also includes our facial peel, which is a glycolic acid, and the Botanical Effects Invigorating Scrub, and our Naturally line has an exfoliating powder cleanser. So all of those we're going to stay away from during that retinization process. Now, can these things be added back in after the retinization process? And I'll go through that with each kind of section as we go along. So those physical exfoliators can be added back in after the retinization process. You're going to want to use them opposite of using retinol. So if you're using your retinol, which you will use your retinol at night, not if you're using it at night, that is when you use it, is at night, you can use a physical exfoliator in the morning and on the off days that you're not going to be using retinol. And then no more than 2 to 3 times per week. We also want to stay away from our exfoliating tools, which is for us our Skinvigorate Sonic brush. And comparable products on the market would be like the Clarisonic Mia 2. Those also kind of have more scrubbing action than what we would probably want on our face with the retinol. That can be added back in later as well, as you can tolerate it. Vitamin C is going to be one that we want to stay away from during the retinization process. Vitamin C is a ascorbic acid, so probably a little bit too much acid effect going on your skin if you're using it during that retinization process. So we're going to have, we'll be able to add it back in the mornings and kind of see how it does for you. It may need to be on the off days when you're not using retinol but always just in the morning, not morning and night. Salicylic acid is another one that we're not going to want to use, and that's our clear proof line, with the caveat of our charcoal mask. The charcoal mask can still be used. It actually has calming ingredients in it, so it'll soothe your skin a little bit, so that one's okay. But the rest of the clear proof line is a lot like the proactive line, and that's not going to be something you want to use in conjunction with retinol. So it's going to be either one or the other, and that one is not going to be something that you want to add back in after your retinization process. And then the last one is the hyaluronic acid, which is in our hydrogel eye patches. So you're not going to use the hydrogel eye patches during the retinization process, but you can add those back in after that process, which is around 8 weeks, and you'll want to use them again in the morning and not when you're using the retinol at night. Now, there's a lot of skincare products out on the market that have hyaluronic acid in them, and that's why it's so important for us to have those conversations about what you're using. There are day creams and foundations that are using hyaluronic acid in them, and we don't want to have that in combination with the retinol. So we'll just need to be very honest about what we're using. No judgments. We just need to know what you're using. And then my last question is, do I have to use the facial milk? And my answer is going to be yes. And my question in response to that would be, why would you not want to use the facial milk? It's actually a great product. Oh my goodness, it's so hydrating on its own. So while we're doing the retinization process and using the retinol, I think it's important to use that milk. It is going to replace any moisture, because retinol is very drying. It's going to replace the moisture that we're losing because of the retinol. That facial milk contains 4 plant oils, which is coconut, jojoba seed, sunflower, and olive. It also contains glycerin and sugarcane squalane. Glycerin and sugarcane squalane are humectants, so they automatically help our skin to retain moisture, and that's very important. So I'm going to say yes, you need to use the milk. Is it an absolute requirement? After you've done the retinization process, maybe not, but I'm going to say that during that retinization process, you'll want to use it, because it's going to help to soothe your skin should any irritations come up. It's going to help moisturize your skin and keep you from getting all of the dry, flakiness, peeling kind of things going on. So that's the end of my questions. Thank you for sticking around with me. Please send me a message if you have any questions. You can do that by going to my Mary Kay website. As I said, it will be linked in the description of the video. My email and my phone number are there. You can send me an email or a text. And if you join my Facebook group, you can send me a message. You can post in there, or you can send me a private message that way. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions. And if you don't already have a Mary Kay lady, I would love to be your gal and help you with all of your needs. And if you go ahead and join the Clinical Solutions Retinol team, go Retinol, I will be right alongside you, walking you through everything as you get your skin used to that product. So thank you. You guys have a great evening, and I will be chatting with you soon.